Blizzards roared. The sun had vanished for weeks, and in the frozen silence of Alaska's wilderness, a small team of dogs ran through darkness, carrying the only thing that could save a dying town. That was 1925, Nome, Alaska, a place cut off by snow, trapped by disease, and the heroes that answered the call weren't soldiers or pilots. They were Siberian Huskies, brave sled dogs who ran more than 600 miles through Arctic storms to deliver life-saving medicine. They fought frostbite, exhaustion, and winds that could tear flesh from bone, and somehow, they made it. This is their story, the story of courage, loyalty, and teamwork that turned a northern breed into a global legend. Stay till the end, because this isn't just a tale of dogs and snow. It's the story of how the Siberian Husky became a symbol of survival, spirit, and heroism that still inspires the world today. Born of ice and instinct. Before Alaska, before fame, the Siberian Husky was the pride of the Chukchi people, an ancient Arctic tribe living along the icy coasts of Siberia. The Chukchi depended on these dogs to survive the endless winters. They were bred to pull sleds across miles of snow, to hunt, and to guard children in freezing nights. The Chukchi didn't just raise them, they lived with them. They shared food, shelter, and spirit. These dogs were family's silent partners in humanity's fight against the cold. But survival in Siberia required something extraordinary. The dogs had to be tough yet gentle, strong yet tireless, fierce yet loyal. Over generations, nature chose the best. Thick double coats for insulation, almond-shaped eyes that shielded against snow glare, and hearts built for endurance. They weren't built for speed, they were built for forever in the Arctic. Where men froze and engines failed, only the Husky kept moving, step by step, mile by mile, breath by breath. That ancient bloodline would one day save an entire city, journey to Alaska. In the early 1900s, explorers brought the first Siberian Huskies from Russia to Alaska for sled races. They were smaller and lighter than native Alaskan dogs, but faster, smarter, and incredibly durable. They quickly dominated the All-Alaska Sweepstakes, a grueling 400-mile sled race across tundra and blizzards. One man in particular, Leonhard Seppala, a Norwegian musher, recognized their unmatched potential. He bred, trained, and raced them, forming one of the strongest sled dog teams the world had ever seen. No one knew it then, but Seppala's dogs would soon become the last hope for thousands of people. The deadly outbreak. In January 1925, a deadly disease, diphtheria, struck the remote town of Nome, Alaska. The disease spread quickly, threatening to wipe out nearly every child in the community. There was only one hope: a small supply of antitoxin serum stored in Anchorage, minus 674 miles away. But there was a problem. Winter storms had blocked the sea. Temperatures had dropped to minus 50 degrees Celsius, and airplanes of that era couldn't handle the Arctic. Cold Nome was isolated, dying in silence. So, Alaska turned to the only heroes capable of crossing that frozen wilderness: the sled dogs. The Great Race of Mercy begins. On January 27, 1925, the first musher left Nenana with the serum, beginning what would become known as the Great Race of Mercy. 20 mushers and more than 150 sled dogs would relay the 20-pound package across mountains, frozen rivers, and endless snow in just 5 days. Each team raced through impossible conditions. Winds over 80 miles per hour, temperatures colder than minus 60 degrees Celsius, darkness so thick they could barely see their own lead dogs. And through it all, the Siberian Huskies ran their breath, freezing midair, paws bleeding, bodies covered in frost. The relay was a miracle of coordination and courage, every musher risking his life, every dog pushing beyond exhaustion. But it was Leonhard Seppala's team, led by his Siberian Husky Togo, that faced the most dangerous stretch. Togo, the unsung hero. Seppala and his lead dog Togo covered nearly 260 miles. The longest and most treacherous leg of the journey, they crossed the deadly Norton Sound, a frozen bay known to shatter under weight. Winds howled like monsters. The ice cracked beneath their paws. At times, they ran across open water. Leaping from one drifting ice sheet to another, Seppala later said Togo lead not with fear, but with wisdom. The dog navigated blizzards, avoided collapsing ice, and kept the team alive when men would have perished. After days of exhaustion, Sapala's team passed the Serum to the next musher. Togo's journey had been longer, colder, and harder than any other, but his story would soon be overshadowed by another name, Balto. When the Serum was just 55 miles from Nome, a musher named Gunnar Kazan and his lead dog, Balto, took the final leg. It was the deadliest part of the storm, winds over 70 miles per hour, snow blinding in every direction. At one point, Kazan was thrown off the sled. The Serum flew into a snowbank. Balto stopped. He refused to move until Kazan returned, then led the team back onto the trail, following scent and instinct alone. After nearly 20 hours in total darkness, Balto and his team stumbled into Nome at 5:30 a.m., February 2nd, 1925. The medicine was delivered. The children were saved. Balto had done it, finishing a relay that covered 674 miles in just 5 days, across the most brutal winter Alaska had ever seen. The world erupted in gratitude. Balto and the Siberian Huskies became instant heroes in New York City. A bronze statue of Balto was erected in Central Park, where it still stands today, inscribed with the words, endurance, fidelity, intelligence. Beyond the fame, the real heroes. Balto became the face of the miracle, but the true story belongs to all the dogs and mushers who took part. Over 150 dogs gave everything they had. Some never returned. And though Balto led the final run, it was Togo, Sapala's dog, who covered the greatest distance, more than double the others, through the worst of the storm. Years later, historians called Togo the greatest sled dog that ever lived. His courage, intelligence, and loyalty were unmatched. When Togo died in 1929, his body was preserved and displayed in Alaska as a symbol of Husky heroism, while Balto's statue in New York continued to remind the world that even in darkness, courage has a face. Together, they represent the two halves of heroism, the one who leads and the one who finishes, the legacy of the Siberian Husky. After the 1925 Serum run, the Siberian Husky became a legend across the world. In World War II, they were used by the U.S. military for search, rescue, and Arctic transport missions. Their strength, endurance, and intelligence made them invaluable. In frozen combat zones, they also helped explore Antarctica and the Arctic, carrying supplies to scientists and explorers in temperatures that would kill engines and freeze metal. But what makes the Siberian Husky truly special isn't just its physical power, it's its spirit. They have an unbreakable bond with their pack and their people. They don't run for reward, they run for purpose. They live for teamwork, for motion, for connection. Even today, if you watch a Husky team take off, you'll notice no one forces them. The moment the sled loosens, they surge forward, howling in unity, as if remembering the bloodline of their ancestors. That's not training, that's instinct, that's heritage, that's heart, that's the nature of the Husky. The Siberian Husky is more than just beautiful. It's a masterpiece of Arctic evolution. Their double-layered coat keeps them warm, even at -60 degrees Celsius. Their curved tail wraps over their face when they sleep, forming a natural snow mask. Their thickly furred paws act like snowshoes, and their piercing blue or amber eyes are adapted to glare and snow reflection. But perhaps the most striking trait is their personality: mischievous, social, and endlessly curious. They're natural explorers who hate confinement, preferring freedom and companionship. They rarely bark, they sing in melodic howls that echo through cold valleys like music of the north. Their independence makes them challenging pets, but for those who understand them, their family unlike any other. Spirit of the North. The story of the Siberian Husky isn't about racing or medals. It's about devotion under impossible odds. It's about a species that never gave up through centuries of storms, wars, and silence. And on that frozen February morning in 1925, when the wind howled like death and all seemed lost, it was the Huskies who ran, not for glory, not for fame, but for life. Every paw print they left in the snow was a message to the future. When the world freezes, courage keeps moving. The spirit of those sled dogs still runs in every Husky today, in every wag, every howl, every flash of blue eyes against the cold. They are living proof that heroes don't always stand upright. Some run on four legs, through storms, carrying hope, the Siberian Husky, the sled dog that carried medicine through hell and brought life to a dying town, a creature of beauty, endurance, and unbreakable heart. From the tribes of Siberia to the blizzards of Alaska, from Togo and Balto to every husky alive today, this breed remains a symbol of courage, loyalty, and the wild soul of the North. If you were inspired by this story, like this video to honor these Arctic heroes, subscribe for more tales of ancient breeds, survival, and animal legends. And tell us in the comments, which heroic dog should we explore next? Until next time, stay curious, stay wild, and remember, some heroes don't wear capes, they wear fur and run through storms.